Jared Weiss, who was on the show recently, writing the article about that for The Athletic the other day. Like, it's these guys just, and especially, it comes from Rob above all else. But both of these guys, they are obsessed with one another. I mean, Al is truly taking it. He's seeing the light. He's always been a leader in terms of mentoring and working well with guys on his team, a great teammate, all of that stuff. But now, as he sees the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of his NBA career, seems he's really going next level in terms of wanting to mentor guys and wanting to take guys under his wing, more so than we've ever seen before, if I'm not mistaken. Some of it, I guess, last year in very limited time with the dude in OKC who was here for 3 seconds, but we're really seeing it now with Rob Williams, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I kind of lean towards your way of thinking, because I'm totally with you that the double big of Al and Rob is nothing like our previous double big experience. Neither Tice or Tristan Thompson, passed anywhere close to the level that either of those bigs can do. So you can run your offense through Rob in the high post. You can put Al on the top of the arc and use him to stretch the floor. And I also think when it comes to Josh Richardson, what was one of the biggest things we saw last year with the second unit was when the NBA caliber players came out and it went all young guys, there just wasn't enough NBA caliber talent in those lineups. So I'm more off the lines of, if let's say you start Nesmith, you can have a second lineup with more NBA quality players. So you're not going on these 10-0 run, 10-2 runs in the blink of an eye, just because there's not a high enough level of talent. What I did find interesting, though, is Ime basically said, listen, I'm not going to have this fluid starting lineup based on matchup. We're going to have our 5 guys and we're going to stick to that, which I thought was pretty interesting, because I would have imagined, okay, maybe a team like Philly that has Drummond and Embiid and maybe a bigger, front court, you would go double big. But if you're playing someone like the Warriors or a team that plays with a super fast pace, why wouldn't you want to switch it up, start one big and have an extra shooter in Nesmith? So those are the things of Ime we just don't know yet, because we've obviously never seen his rotation in a real season. And maybe that'll be adjusted as we see different combinations and what works and what doesn't. But I'm just of the belief of, I want to surround, if you go back to what Brad said when he traded Kemba, he said, everything we do is to maximize Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. For me, I want them with as many floor spacers and shooters as possible. So if I can start Horford at the 5, have him be the first sub out, and have him come back in with the second unit so him and Schroeder can run pick and roll, great. But I want guys that defenses are going to have to respect in terms of their three-point shooting, knowing that you're already starting Marcus Smart, and he's a 33, 34% shooter. If Aaron Nesmith can shoot 38, 39% to the point where defenses have to respect him, that opens up your driving lanes. Then you factor in everything we hear from Drew Hanlon and Ime about how they want Tatum to play more downhill and attack the basket. Well, you need guys to create driving lanes. So that's why I think in a perfect world, Aaron Nesmith by the trade deadline has played his way into being a full-time starter. I think that would be our perfect ideal scenario. We're not there yet, but I think that's where we end up.
No love for Juancho and Gomez, huh? Can't get a little,
People wondering if that dude's even going to be in the rotation.
The combination we saw on Monday plays well. I don't think you can rule that out, because he does stretch the floor. If they want to protect, Tatum or Jaylen from having to guard power forwards and bang those bodies throughout an entire season, you could see it. I mean, if he can just hit spot up threes, he was one of the guys I talked about their energy and effort. Juancho was everywhere. It was like, I can't say I watched a ton of him in Minnesota and all that, but just if he's going to be a guy who doesn't care about touching the ball and just wants to make hustle effort plays, sure, spot start him while you're trying to figure out what, combinations work.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's fine, but you need guys, like you said, you need guys like that. You need guys that are going to crash. Like, he had an offensive rebound, I think early in the game, where you're like, where the hell did he come from? Like, where is, but that's the stuff you need, energy plays like that. That's why Cantor you know, as much as we all loathe watching Cantor play pick and roll defense, like his activity down low matters. Like Juancho, if he can find a way to separate himself from everybody else with that just one element, that extra possessions matter. They add up at the end of the game. So I mean, look, he's not going to start. There's no way. But you know, the fact that he was even thought about in that shows you maybe some positive, you know, signs going in that direction. That's all.